Hey my loves, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. If you're new here, I'm Kira. Welcome. I'm a mommy, a wife, a lover of all things educational, craft, organization, haul. You know, this channel is a bit of a gumbo. I want you to be able to find everything you need here and not have to, go to my vlog channel or go to my DIY channel. I want you to be able to come here, find your home, and enjoy. Please don't forget to hit that subscription button and don't forget to hit the bell so you'll be notified every time I post a video. So in today's video, I wanted to share transitioning into becoming a stay-at-home mom or a stay-at-home wife. You know, there's a lot of fallacies out there about a stay-at-home mom or a stay-at-home wife. People think that, it's all kicks and giggles. All we do is kick our feet up all day, snack, watch TV, Girl, he is not the father. Oh my God. Like the episodes of Married with Children, where Peggy Bundy would always be sitting there eating her bonbons and watching TV. That's not true. We are busy. We work. We work from the moment we open our eyes to the moments we close them at night. And it's a continuous pattern, one that we love, and it's a vocation that we have chosen. But for those that don't understand, don't be so quick to, think that we're partying all day long. It's not the case. And then some people think that all we do is go out and shop and, have mimosas and martinis all day. I wish, but that's not the case at all. So, with all of that aside, I want to help you if you are thinking about transitioning into becoming a stay-at-home mom or a stay-at-home wife. It is different, it's completely different from working outside the home. When you work outside the home, it's two separate entities. You work, you have your set days, your set schedule. When you leave work, you leave work. I mean, some people may have to take work home with them, but once you're done it, you're done it. You have your days off, you have your vacations. On the flip side of it, you come home, you spend time with your family, then you go back to work. It's a seesaw effect. It's completely different when you're a stay-at-home mom and a stay-at-home wife. You're here 24/7. Even when you go outside the house with your little ones and everything like that, your job is 24/7 schedule. Even if hubby gives you a moment to yourself and a moment away, you're always in your office and you are always on the job. So you want to keep that in mind and make sure that's something that you want to do, because a lot of people will take on this task and then they'll feel burdened, and because it's a whole brand new world. Even though you're like, I live there, and this is my family, what's going on? It's a culture shock, so to speak, because everything is on you 100% of the time. So you want to make sure, first off, this is something that you and your spouse are willing to do, because some people may be going from a 2-income household to 1 income. So you want to make sure this is something that you wholeheartedly want to do and that it's financially feasible for your family. Secondly, you want to make sure that you have your own hobbies, you have things that make you happy, finding your outlets. You want to have your outlet, so you're not feeling inundated with, oh my goodness, all I do is change, feed, clothe, clean, because it can feel like that. You can feel like you're on a hamster wheel sometimes, and those days will come. Even if you do have your outside activities outside of the family, you will feel the humdrum of it. And it's a beautiful humdrum, and it's something that I would never change or give up for the world. But it just comes with the territory. I don't want to paint this glamorous picture of, oh my goodness, I just sit back and in the morning we do this and in the evening I do this, and then some days I'm like, it's like Macaulay Culkin off of Home Alone. It's like, really? But that's life. That's with anything. Even if you worked outside the home, you know, sometimes you go in the office and you're like, if one more person talks to me, I'm going to scream. But that's just life. That's just life. Um, so you also want to make sure you have a certain routine and a certain flow of things. You know Kira's philosophy on scheduling and routines. You set them as guidelines and as parameters, but it's not the Ten Commandments. It's not carved in stone and it's not set in marble. Understand that if you don't get to it today, you can get to it tomorrow. You have to remember that. Don't beat yourself up. You know, I had been there at one point in time when when I became a stay-at-home mom. It was like I was so rigid with myself because I still had my working outside of the house mentality of, you know, I was programmed, so to speak. And we all are. When we get used to working in a certain field or a certain area of life, we get used to the program. So I was used to being up at this time and going about my day and everything. And then when I had my little munchkin bunchkin, I had to realize that he calls the shots and made me think about things a totally different way. And he let me know that it's not that serious, mommy. You schedule it. We'll get to it when we get to it. If we don't get to it, mommy, we'll get to it tomorrow. So then that's what I kind of had to reteach myself, that, you know, they're my guidelines. Now, things that I would suggest you do is set out some time for yourself. Now, for me, every morning I try, before everyone else wakes up, to have at least an hour for myself and God, where I'm doing my daily devotionals, I'm praying, I'm reading, so that this way I'm starting my day off in serenity and peace. And I'll try to do some meditation as well, even if it's like a quick 5-minute meditation of just decompressing and starting my day. I also try to include meditation at the end of my day or in the midst of my day. So that I'm always, you know, centering myself and always bringing it back to the center. And especially on those days where it's like, oh my goodness, oh my word. Even if you're not into meditation, saying a prayer or having a moment where you're just, you know, woo-sa. You have to have a woo-sa moment. Um, and then you want to have activities for you and your littles. So that you're not just sitting around like, what should I do? What should I do with them? What should I do with them? Thinking in advance. Some days what I'll try to do is the night before, I'll try to set up little projects before I go to bed, or even during his nap time, I'll set up something. If I can't do it the night before while he's napping for that day's activity, I'll try to set something up. Or going for a walk. You never know how much getting outside the house and getting that vitamin from the sun will rejuvenate you, will calm your little one. If you feel like they're bouncing with a whole bunch of energy today, what am I supposed to do with this? Take them outside. Let them play, let them run, let them burn that off, let them absorb nature. If it's too cold, you know, try to have an area in the house where it's, you know, this is your play area, this is your jumping area, this is your area to have a ball. That helps. Another part of transitioning, knowing that it is a transition. You have to understand that you're transitioning from one aspect of your life to another, and give yourself some time to make that transition. It's okay. It'll feel like, because you don't want it to feel like, oh my goodness, you've been picked up here and dropped here, and okay, now I have to adapt 100%. Give yourself plan. You know I'm into planning. You want to plan, and not just jump right into it. So give yourself some time and be like, you know what? like I said, talk it over with your spouse to make sure this is something you both are agreeing on, because you don't want it to be with, this is what I want to do, you don't want to do it, oh well, I'm doing it. You don't want to put a rift in your marriage or in your relationship with this. This is something to benefit everyone. This is something that's supposed to bring joy to your family, not a burden. Remember that. Another part of transitioning, don't listen to anybody else. I always tell people, you know, you want to put your earmuffs on and put your blinders on sometimes. When you're making decisions for your family, you can't listen to the negativity or the opinions of other people, because there will be opinions, you know. I would get it all the time. Even from my mom, she's like, oh girl, you're going to lose your mind just being home 24/7. And I was like, Mommy, I understand, but this is what we've chosen. And this is my vocation. This is what I want to do for my child. I don't knock anyone else's hustle. If this is what's good for you and your family to put your child in daycare or pre-K, God bless you. It works for you, rock out with it. But it doesn't work for us and for my family. We wanted to be, or we wanted me to be the 100% care provider for our child, and we wanted to be in control of his education and in control of what he's being exposed to, and who's nurturing and caring for him, and who's feeding his spirit, and who is enveloping him. And that was my job. As his mother, I took that on as my vocation and my job. So I transitioned myself from a working mom, because I had my bonus son, Darius. He lived with Darren and I. So I was a working mom. And I transitioned to a stay-at-home mom. See, so there's a difference. It's a balancing act. It's all about balancing your life. You want to make sure that it's right for you, it's right for your family. You see, I keep repeating that, and there's a reason for it, because you don't want to do it just because you see somebody else doing it, or I'm tired of being at that job, I want to be home. You don't want to do it for those aspects, because this is a job. This is the most underpaid, undervalued, underappreciated job in the world. I'll repeat that. It's the most unappreciated job, not from your spouse or anybody, but from the world. Stay-at-home moms sometimes are looked at like with that side eye of. And a lot of times, sadly to say, in the African American community, sometimes it's kind of like a what? And it is a generational curse almost, because as black women, we were taking care of everyone else's children for such a long time in history. And it began to get passed down and passed down and passed down, that we were to go to work, our children are to go over here, go to school, or go over here to daycare. So it's kind of like a generational thing of why it's accepted in the European communities a lot easier than in our African American communities. And that's just because it's not something that is expected. It is not something that is the norm. But I'm here to tell you that it's okay. As you see, I do it. It can be done. And you don't have to feel as though that you have to adhere to anyone's status quo for your life. If it works for you, if it works for your family, rock on. Again, I thank you so much for clicking on this video. I thank you so much for sharing this time with me. Don't forget to click that like button. Don't forget to comment, are you a stay-at-home mom or stay-at-home wife? Are you thinking about it? Do you have any questions? Do you have any, concerns? Let's talk. Don't forget, never forget to hit up that comment section. I love connecting with you guys. I love chit-chatting with you. And until next time, stay positive.